what explains this revenge killing, this cycle of violence which continues to plague Dakshin Kannada?
Well, Karthika, this is very unfortunate. So many murders in the last few years. The three you have mentioned in the last few months. In 2022, three murders happened in a span of just 8 days. So this is, the cycle of killings that has unnerved people of Karnataka. The problem is, problem is multifold. There is lack of, I think, political tough handling of the situation. There is sorry, the political interference, at every level, especially the postings of the police officials, perhaps, and then the hate speeches, the social media, which is adding fuel to the fire to these incidents. All these have put the Mangalore, the Dakshina Kannada, and Udupi districts on fire. The coastal districts have seen so many murders, and this is one of them. And this may not be the last. I think the state governments is called upon to take tough measures. We need to have tough people as ministers, the home minister and district in charge ministers. So many issues are there, and they need to be tackled properly. The hate speeches, first of all, the hate speeches have to be curbed, and the cycle of killings need to be stopped. Karthik.
Dr. Itnal, Arun says there's a lack of political handling. Is it correct?
Absolutely, absolutely, Kartikeya. This is not the first instance of a communal incident in coastal Karnataka. Coastal Karnataka is known to be extremely, extremely sensitive on communal matters for last 30 years, right from 90s. Whether it is in the backdrop of Babri Masjid issue or in the backdrop of Mandal Commission or Hubli Idgah issue, every time there is, I don't know why the politicians from Dakshina Kannada are not focusing on harmony, rather than they're taking sides. One party takes sides of the one community, other party takes the side of the other community. There is not a single party which is working for the harmony. In fact, when late Mr. Girish Karnad was there, he was working on this harmony. He had formed even an organization called Sauhard, Komu Sauhard Karnataka, something similar to that name. So that's essentially for communal harmony. There is no a single political party or politician who is focused and who is working on communal harmony in coastal Karnataka. Because if it continues like this, coastal Karnataka becomes extremely, extremely, risky, because this kind of a messaging, one event after the other, whether it is Suhas Sethi or today's this Shafi or it's Praveen Netaru, there are events after events after events. So whether it is BJP or Congress, they have to, put their act together, rather than working on political mileage based on one event or the other, or taking sides with one community or the other. They must come together and put their heads together so that the Dakshina Kannada district can live peacefully. Otherwise, common people in Dakshina Kannada will suffer. Each and every student, every commoner there will have to worry whether am I doing business with a Muslim.
Not take sides is important. It's an important line. Not take sides. Wajiullah, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Wajiullah, just sum up what's happening. Why is violence increasing?
Well, like Mr. Basaraj Itnal mentioned, violence is not new to the entire region. It has been mired with violence since the last 30 years in the data that we've seen. But in the last 1 month, we've seen two killings that have happened. First, it started with Suhas Sethi, who also has a rowdy sheet against him. But on the other hand, you have a lot of Hindutva right-wing groups that have made him their own hero also. But that had its own repercussion, because after that we had seen a lot of pro-Hindutva groups, pro-right-wing groups who had come out and given this provocative speeches with regards to what happened with him, and they had even warned and given threat calls to the Muslim community on the other hand. And now this killing is also at the back end of what happened with Suhas Sethi. The father of Abdul Rahiman has also come out and asked for vengeance, and have said that he's the only son who was there, and this has happened because of the atmosphere that has been created in this place. But what is even more interesting is that tomorrow, what we've learned is that most of the Congress leaders, Muslim leaders especially, will be resigning at the backdrop of this, because they believe that this has now become a continuous this thing of revenge killing, and there is no support from their end. And it's been more than a day, and they still don't have no clue about who the culprit is. They had arrested another Hindu right-wing activist called Sharan Pampawale, but he was released because the arrest was on a different case altogether. So there is a lot of confusion right now. Even in the press conference that happened with the ADGP, the reporters kept on insisting, is it revenge killing? Is it revenge killing? And that is when the ADGP lost his cool and said that, listen, we are new to this area. You are old over here. You might know who have done it.
Okay.
We still have to investigate. So there is no clarity when it comes to who it is. But at the back end of it, we all know it is a communal a place where there is a lot of communal violence that is very normal in that city.
Okay, now on this, let me invite both the spokespersons. First, I'll go to Dr. Gowda and then I'll go to Satyaprakash. Dr. Gowda, is it only about radical Hindutva, or is there Islamic radicalization in these coastal areas as well?
First and foremost, I would like to tell one thing that at this point of time is that the cardinal features, the hallmark of the Congress government ever since it has come to power has been the fiasco in their administration, more particularly the developmental administration, paralysis in the law and order, and extreme Muslim appeasement. Whenever the Congress government comes to the power, there will be eruption of these kind of communal incidences. I'm so sorry to say this.